Oh, what a ways to go and get started. Oh my god, here, I'm going to turn my music down just a little bit. Just going to go and fix that very quick. How to, just turn it down a little bit. There we go. There we go. To the main, to the main, to the main. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. Look at that inception. Oh, we got the Ina Tippy too. Where's my Q&A room? There we are. Hello there, everyone. Once again, it is I, Jomo Nafuda, with bad internet. Yes, it is my terrible internet connection causing this. What a wondrous time to go and get started on a stream. I had perfect internet connection for the entire time until it turned 2 p.m. And then all of a sudden the internet decided to go bad because fate hates me and it hates you people too. Why? Why? Anyways, how are y'all doing today? We doing good? My frame's doing terrible. My KBS seems to be pretty good, but my output, I don't know. I really don't know. I hope it's not going to be like this the entire day. Here I'm going to go and strangle my internet provider by the balls. Got a caterpillar singing into a saxophone. That's insane. Internet causing this? Yes. So it looks like it's going to be like an up and down situation. Here, I'm going to switch my water balls around very quick. It's mostly good. My internet has been hating me recently as well. Joe's internet, I beg you, please allow the stream to start and work. Yes, indeed. Anyways, here, so I could go and hear myself. I'm going to turn my music down just a touch more. There we go. I think that's about good. That's about good. Anyways, today on the subject is it's a worm playing the sax. Oh, I see. Anyways, today we are doing the art stream. As many has recommended and suggested to me that they want me to go and do an educational art stream. Drop frame percentage, yes. I am very aware. I'm very aware that the frames are dropping. I mean, at least art doesn't need that much FPS. Indeed, there's gonna be a lot of still imagery, so I'll save it. But like I was saying before I got distracted, many people wanted me to go and do an art stream where I go and teach you guys how to go and draw things. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. So in short, I think I'm going to have you guys decide on what we learn to draw, because I mean, I could go on many subjects, but we'll start out with some basics. Some basic stuffs. Now, as a heavy recommendation for you guys actually watching that wish to go and participate in the class, and learn how to go and do the doodling stuffs, I would recommend you actually probably getting a piece of paper and a pencil, if you can find one. Maybe a pen. But yeah. So we're actually gonna be doing some real drawing stuff. This is actually gonna be some real education. I have real bottles of water in front of me that are not full of alcohol, so that tells you I'm a professional and not one of those jabroni college art teachers that like to go and talk about how much they like to get shit-faced during the art class. So oh, basic circles. Oh, what happens if I take this circle and put it next to this circle? Oh my god. Anyways, so let's go and stop waffling. Let's go hop in to the, I'm going to turn my music down just a touch more. 14, 16? 14 seems good. All right, I'm going to go to the tablet. Now, oh my god, there's a ramen bowl hiding behind my tablet. I didn't even notice that. It's probably because I filled it with potato chips last night. Anyways, we're gonna hop into the tablet. Tablet screen. Transform. There we go. Here we are. We are here. Welcome to the classroom, children. Alright. So, today, I'm gonna go and put a quick poll in the chat. Jotun is going to teach us how to go and draw the Tesseract. Indeed. So let's go and put a quick poll. Actually, no. Here. Only water by you sounds like someone with multiple balls of alcohol would say. Nonsense! Nonsense! They're just water, and not totally gonna burn my gullet when I drink them. I can't believe Whataburger is the only fast food that starts with a W. Yes. Anyways, hello. I came here just to say hi. Well, hello there. Well, anyways, so what do you guys want to go? Actually, no. I'm not gonna give you guys democracy yet. This isn't a democracy stream just yet. All right. So generally, if you guys got your papers and pencils in front of you yet? Because in the meantime, I already got everything set up. I was gonna go and try and do this whole little tiny epilogue thing where I was like, oh yeah, I'm totally unprepared. I don't have anything set up and ready, but I had enough time to go and get everything set up and ready to go. So, jokes, the egg is on my face. All right, hands. Well, we're gonna work our way up to hands then. So, first off, what we're gonna be doing, Wiener Schnitzel says otherwise. Well, it looks like Kaichito, it looks like you have been beat. All right, so here's what we're gonna go and do. So, simple shapes, very easy. I'm gonna go and, like your standard art class where they just kind of like waffle on for ages about just a whole bunch of other shit. Well, I'm just gonna go and do the basics, and then we're just gonna hop right into a frying pan. So, here we go. So, warm-ups, which is essentially what basic shapes are. So, you get your square, right? You get your circle. Oh, look at that. I actually got a decent circle that time. Okay, try that again. There you go. All right. And then you get a triangle. Uh-huh. And then if you combine all of them, you get the star. Look at that. Look at that. Wonderful, right? All right. So, generally, that's great and all. That is our warm-up. But generally, if we want to do something like hands, so say I just want to go and draw a hand. Like, I don't know how to draw a hand. Oh no! How do I draw this hand? Well, first off, let's go and get into the real meat and potatoes of basics. So we know about circle, we know about triangle, we know about square, but do we know about cube? Cube? We all know about cube, right? Look at that cube. So, how did I draw the cube? How do I actuate the cube in my brain? Well, all you need to do is imagine a square, and then you draw another square behind it. So, we'll do like in the old ways. Draw another square behind it, and then you just connect the lines. But you only connect 3 lines. It's connecting the dots. It's kind of like what they teach you in grade school. It's like where you do like a dot and a dot and a dot and a dot like this. And then you're like, where does this go? Oh, it goes right here? Oh, wow, look at that. It connects. I need to go and change my brush settings. The stabilization is too high. So I'm getting little tears off the end. But generally, that's what you do. Now that we got that down, I can't believe science has gone this far, Pat, indeed. Yes, the Murano head. Yeah, you can use that as a head. But now here's the thing, spheres. Because later on we're probably gonna go and do some spherical stuff. What kind of spherical stuff? Probably the head. The head's always the most important thing when it comes to drawing any character. If you want to draw character art, so just like this circle, and then how do you imagine a sphere working? Well, this is the most important part. Curve. Add a curve to it. There. Alright, there. Put another circle inside it. So we're putting circles inside circles. It's a circleception. And then you don't even have to imagine a core, but sometimes if you really want to go and get an accurate sphere, you can imagine a core inside. And if I remove all these lines, you just get this. Look at that. Look at that. Wonderful, right? Okay. Next. Oh wait, that's I just spun. I spinned. I don't want to spin. I don't want to spin. Leave it empty. Rotate back to normal. Alright, last things last. Triangle. Alright, so we already know about the triangle. Oh, what a wondrous shape it is. 3 shapes. Alright, how do you make it? How do you make it a prism? You just gotta do it like this. Angle it backwards like that, right? You got like an isosceles, and then you connect it. Connect it like this. Alright, you got that? So essentially you just take a triangle and put it right next to another triangle, and you put it up at a slightly raised angle. There you go. You got your triangle, and then you can put a funny eyeball on it, like this, where you draw a lemon. So once again, this is like drawing the circles again, but you're drawing like a half moon. But draw a lemon, do that, draw a half moon on the lemon, and then draw a little circle under. There you go. You got an eyeball. Look at that. Look at that. We're working. And then if I want to do this side, draw a line, draw another line, M, upside down, angry face, tippy, bam. All right, so we got our warm-ups down, everyone. If you guys are following along and drawing on a piece of paper, I'm just trying to go and make sure that you guys can keep up. I'm not sure on what your capability is, but I'm sure that my capability of teaching is hopefully good enough for you. I'm still trying to get over sinus infection, by the way, so don't mind me if I decide to go and fight some slimes in the middle of the stream. Let's see. Can you add another sphere inside a sphere? Yes, you can, but can you really see it? Not really, unless you're trying to go and make like one of those like axolometers or something like that. I personally start with the chest to know where the character will stand and add the head afterwards. Illuminati's confirm. OMG, it's that guy from Gravity Falls, Tipsy, and Bill Cipher. I'm using Mario Paint. Well, that's good to know that you're using Mario Paint. Will this be on the exam? This is the exam, you fool! MS Paint? No, today we're not doing MS Paint for the sake of speed and efficiency. I am in Clip Studio, so. All right, I'm cooling. All right. So now that we got all of our warm-ups down, generally this is where we hop in. This is the part where you guys get to go and learn how to draw hands. But first, do you know how to draw bread? So we learned how to go and draw a cube, right? Cube. We return to cubism. Look at that cube. What a wondrous cube it is. Anyways, perfection is not necessary in nature, but generally perfection sometimes is good to strive towards. But bread, on the other hand, bread is just something else. So first, let's go and get our cube down. So we're going to go and get a big cube, and we're going to do an extruded prism. I'm going to go and just extrude that prism. Look at that. It's almost like we're in Blender. Oh my God, look at that, Lois. All right. Now next, I'm going to fade that. And what I'm going to do is this is our frame now. This cube right here is our frame. Now I'm going to go and do this. Going to do that. All right. Fit it to the bread. Imagine bread. And then draw bread. All right, there. Now we got our loaf of bread. But if I cut off a loaf of bread, now we got a cube sitting on the floor. I'm going to go back to my frame layer. So now we got a cube sitting on the floor. And there we go. Now we got bread on the floor, and I'm just going to go and fill that in very quick. Just going to draw that bread. Tasty bread. Can you tell I didn't eat breakfast today? I can perceive not eating breakfast today. Alright, so now we got bread on the floor. Great. Blender in bread? Indeed. Brie. Alright, so that is our bread tutorial. So now that we move on from that, now I'm just going to go and throw this bread up in the corner over here, because this is going to tie into that. So if you drew a loaf of bread, imagine bread, then draw bread. Indeed. So I'm going to unlock this layer. I don't need this layer. It's just mental referential. All right, so I'm going to shrink my pen down a little bit because this is where we get into the gritty of it all today. Now we're going to draw hands. All right, here we go. So if you drew your bread, instructions unclear, got a long cube instead. Oh, damn, son. Well, if you could go and draw a long cube, that's good enough for me. All right, so now here we go. So let's just go and draw a regular old hand. All right, you locked in, guys? You locked in? All right, here we go. So remember the bread from earlier? This guy, the bread? Alright, so we're gonna go and use the bread to go and draw the hand. So, imagine like this. So I draw the bread again. Look at that bread. This is, by the way, we're going with basic hand. The most basic imaginary hand that you can imagine. So here we go. So now we got our bread. Look at that bread. Alright? So now what we're going to do, we're going to add some French fries to the end of it. And it's just going to be like this. Just going to be like this. One. And you're going to add on this side. You're going to add your digits. Look at that. There we go. And now we got some fingers sticking out of a French fry box. But the thing is, you got a thumb. Thumbs count as fingers. Even unless you're someone else, then you think that you're smart and you say, oh yeah, the cabbage part of the head. Yes, of course it is. We all know it is. Stop telling us. Anyways, it is a finger. It's a finger, whether you like it or not. Alright, so next, what we want to do, we're just going to go from this corner, just like I did earlier. Kind of like that. And then just drop it just a little bit, right about here. And we're just going to draw a little circle, so like an egg. And then pick it up just like that. And then our little tiny circle on top of that. Like a little tiny smokestack with some smoke coming out of it. And there you go, you got your hand. Teacher, I accidentally added potato chips. Help me. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I can't help you with that. Because if there's like Pringles like falling from the sky here, I can't really help you, guy. I mean, just draw a cylinder. Big ass cylinder. It's dropping like the Pringle potato chips. They're just flying out. Just flying out. Anyways. But generally this is how you draw a basic hand. Nothing much to it, because once you get the bread technique down, then you can start like getting it in different directions. Like for example, if I want to say take this hand and flatten it out, putting French fries in the bread. Teacher, Pringles aren't legally chips; they are crisps. Nonsense! Get out of here if you're British. You Brit. Noted. All right, so now what we're going to go and do, I'm just going to go move this hand off to the side. Because what we're going to do next, now we're going to go and draw our hand flat. I would show you my own hand, but I don't feel like showing myself on the screen. Teacher, please draw the hand with fingers closed. All right, fine. Hand with fingers closed. So now that we're doing that, we're going to go and make a fist. So now that we got our bread down, next thing that we're going to do is going to draw like this. So got our bread again. Go bread. Now, this time I'm going to go and just do a little bit of a sharper angle on that. And to draw a fist, put a brick in front. Because you imagine, getting hit by a fist hurts. So it's kind of like getting hit by a brick. That's what you think. So I'm drawing like a weird shaped cube. But if I really want to go and draw the cube, I imagine it like this. So, I draw a square that matches with the line work of the fist. Just like this. Drawing a long rectangle. And then I draw this. By the way, we're not getting to like 100% accuracy. We're just getting into the basics of mentally scoping it out. Because if you can mentally scope out things, then you could start working from other places. Because mental scoping is actually more important than you think. Because a lot of the times, yes, it's kind of like, I look, I draw. It's like, I look at what I see. Just draw an eyeball. I look, and then I draw it. That's how you do normal art. But when you're drawing like cartoon characters, and sometimes even stuff for mental reference, it's kind of like you have to imagine it sometimes. So that's what I'm going on. So generally, we got our bread, we got our brick, and now we're just going to go and do our exact same thing where we did our egg. So we're going to put an egg in there, put an egg in the bread. You ever guys had an egg in the bread? That's pretty tasty. Anyways, It's going to draw another little tiny cylindrical, a cylinder, and then just curl that in. Something like that, just like this. But I'm going to carry this into a frame. So this is going to be a frame now. Just going to do this. There you go. I'm going to lock you. All right. So if I want to go further with this design, this nice little fist, I would want to go and do something like this. So I just go over the lines. I trace over what I currently have. And one of the things is that if you actually look at a fist, so just go and ball up a fist right in front of you. Granted, I'm going to a very cubical fist, but if you notice that your fist is kind of pentagon shaped, it's like where if you tilt it in a certain way and you look at the tip on the ball of your thumb, so like right here, and then you look at the curl on your pinky right here, you notice that it kind of goes in this direction, like in this direction, if you tilt it just a little bit. So that's where you get your curl on your fist. So what I want to do is I want to just go and dip this down just a little bit. I'm going to get rid of these arrows. I don't need to look at them anymore myself. I don't need them. I don't need no handicaps. Anyways, so I'm just going to go and follow up going this way. And then go just like this. And right here, this is where your main index finger is going to go. Because for some reason, due to how smashed and smushed up your fist is, it's just going to go and push it out a little bit. And then same with the thumb. The thumb is just going to be tucked in, pushed out just a little bit. There's banging going on outside. I don't know what the banging is, but it's probably something related to people going crazy in my neighborhood driving cars. Anyways, there you go. I'm going to go and get a fist. Look at that fist. It's nice and mushy. Is this a right hand or a left hand? Well, by the looks on how I drew it, it could be a left hand or it could be a right hand. I mean, generally, it looks like I'm working with the right hand. I have the dyslexias. It's just my ADHD hindrance. What do you say? ADHD handicap. Yeah, there we go. It's the right one. The correct one. All right. So next. Wowie zowie. Indeed. So next, what we're going to go and do is that. So we got hand closed. We got hand open. Let's go and fix this hand open. Let's go and add some character to this hand right here. So say I want to go and make my hand a little bit more personality instead of it just being like the raising hand to ask a question. May you teach us how to go and draw a singular Granny Smith apple. Well, I mean, I could teach you how to go and draw fruit, but I'll teach you how to draw a singular fruit right afterwards. So let's go and do that hand of character. So previously we got the bread, and with the bread, we can now go and flip it around a little bit. So I want to go and do something like this. Notice how it's looking a little bit less like bread, but that's just because I want to go and move that bread around. Something like that, right? But I want to go and connect the fingers. Go and connect the fingers just like this. Notice how I go and do some finger spacing on this. The reason why I do the outward and then the inward, so it's kind of like outward and then I do inward afterwards. The reason why is because sometimes getting all your finger placement by just going this way is not the easiest thing to do if you're a beginner sometimes. Or if you're just like trying to get perfect finger placement all the time. I like to go and do like the outside fingers first, depending on how it goes. It depends on the shape. If I want to do a fist, then I could just do all of them at the same time. But generally, I want to do something like this. So I get this big index finger, I get this tiny pinky, and then I could go and get the other two fingers in between. Something like that. And then I can go and I'm just going to go and tilt it back just a bit. This is why I'm working with vector layers today. But now our hand has a little bit of personality to it. And then I could go and just scrape that up. Now that our egg is kind of going to be bent in. Get our cylinder. thumb. Wait. Chatto Matteo. There you go. All right. Kind of just bends in like that. There you go. Now you got a happy little hand. And then if you want to go and add a crease up to here, this is the what do you call the knuckle fulcrum that you see on top of your hand, your palm. Kind of just goes like that. And then you can go and do the same thing with the fingers themselves, because they all have little tiny folds. You have folds on your fingers, but so say you just don't get it. You just don't get the fingers. You don't know how them fingers work. How them fingers work? Well, here's how they work. Because what you really are looking at, if I were to go and dissect this little turkey right here, we're going to fade this. I'm going to fade you. I'm going to go onto here. Actually, wait, I don't need to fade you because I got this layer right here. I'm going to make you blue. All right, so what we're actually looking at here, so say if I want to go and control any of these fingers, I want to go and make, let's see, I want to go and make like right here, like where these two middle fingers go down, you get like the little tiny like rock on sign or something like that. Well, what you're actually looking at is that you just go and segment them like this. See how that is? Plain, simple, easy, rustic, risotto. All right? All right. That's all you're really looking at the entire time. And then if I want to go and bend the fingers down, I just need to imagine that, like, okay, so I at least need 3 segments. At least 3 segments to go and work with. I'm just going to disappear these like Stalin. All right. All right. And I'm going to disappear these fingers. And then I'm just going to go and start out, because we have this section right here, and then it's going to bend out forward. So we're going to draw a cube. Kind of peeks up just a little bit. Just a little bit, kind of like that. And remember, like what I said, this is like a combination of the fist and the fingers themselves. So I'm just going to turn this off. I'm going to get rid of this little fulcrum right here so I can go and see what I'm doing, because sometimes you can get rid of, there's a point where you get rid of your frames. So there you go. All right. I'm going to get rid of that little dot because that's going to give me OCD. All right, so now next, so this is our initial section right here. I'm going to keep these lines right here. And then our next section is going to go and bend down just like this. Just draw a connecting line in between the two. And right about there, because remember, it's 3 sections. Just like that. Now, here's a cheat method that you could use to go and get your hands perfect kind of pretty much every time. I call it the Mega Man method, because when you're drawing, if you look at the old Mega Man images, there's this thing where I think it's Keiji Inafune like to go and put his hands where the two fingers in the middle finger and the spare are always kind of just fused together. So I'll just go and draw that very quick. So essentially what we're looking at right here, let's see, just gonna go and draw a hand like this. So we're drawing our hand at a downward angle, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and angle the fingers. I'm going to go and do a little bit of force perspective, but generally kind of like this. And then just draw a 4th finger, just like this. Our thumb right here. I'm going to flip that around, checking that out. All right. And it's a little simple. We keep it simple. Not all tests have to be perfect, because when we're not doing it for anyone else. We're doing it for ourselves right now. That is the general goal. So generally, what we're looking at is something like this, where the 2 middle fingers are fused together. And if I go back here, I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to show you what we're actually looking at. This. So what we got is that instead, oh, that's the wrong brush. Instead of making all 4 fingers up here, we're actually making 3 fingers instead. We're just gonna fuse them together like this. You draw 1, and then 2. It's an interesting looking shape, but all you need to do at that point is kind of just fuse it over like this. And then there you go. You got your functional pieces. It's like one of those little tiny things to go and like skip forward when it comes to drawing a hand. Disappear like Stalin. Do you just have this on memory? Yes, of course I do. I end up a hand with 6 fingers. Is that normal? Well, I mean, if you end up with a hand with 6 fingers, all you need to do is kind of look at it like this. So say I just accidentally drew a hand with 6 fingers. So let's do something wrong. So I'm gonna imagine that I am an AI generator tool, and I'm gonna go and draw 6 fingers on a hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So obviously we can ask ourselves, what's wrong with this image? Well, we already know what's wrong with the image, and that is because there's obviously 6 fingers on the hand. Just get rid of 1. You just erase it. And how do you fix this? How do you fix this? How can I go back from this? Well, I had this extra digit here. I just erase it. And then I go onto my paper and I just erase right here. And then I increase the size. There you go. Your problem has been solved. Obviously, if you're drawing it at different angles, kind of like this, and I go and put an extra digit right here, it's kind of the same issue. You just go and remove the extra digit that's closest to the thumb, and normally the arch that connects to the thumb can normally clear that. Still looks better than any robot made, indeed. Anyways, so someone asked me to go and draw a Granny Smith apple. I eat Granny Smith apples alone too. That's sad. All right. So you guys, someone asked to go and draw fruit. Who's the madman? I'm not gonna go and call them out. I just know that someone asked me to draw fruit, and I'll draw a fruit for you, and here's how you're gonna draw fruit. You don't even have to go and memorize. Well, sometimes you kind of have to go and memorize the shape of a fruit, but generally, you're just going off of a basic shape. So, Matt, you remember the cube from earlier? I'm going to draw the cube in a different direction because I just kept on drawing it from a different chiaroscuro angle. But cube, I'm going to draw the cube, and it could be any cube, really. It could be an ugly cube. Because the thing about nature is that when you're drawing in nature, is that nature doesn't have perfect shapes. Only humans have constructed the perfect shapes. And we like perfection. Nature doesn't really give 2 flying shits about perfection. So, we got our cube. And now I'm going to go and follow it up with with imagining something being carved out of the cube. And that is going to be our apple. So, generally, this is where someone asked me, oh, can you draw a sphere inside the cube? Or can you draw a sphere inside the sphere? Well, yes, that's what you're going to be doing. So you draw a sphere inside the cube, right? So this is our sphere inside a cube. We're putting the peg in the square. Everything goes in the square. Anyways, so generally this is what we're looking at. And then from here, we got our shape. And then we could go and work off of that shape. So we got square inside cube. Cube inside square. Sphere inside cube. And here we go. So we get our circle and we imagine that it is that. And now next what we want to go and do, we want to draw a little bit of a dip. Just a little bit of a dip right under there. It can have some fill-in because, like I said, nothing really has perfect shapes in nature. And then I just want to just go and kind of carve it around. A little bit. This is a Granny Smith apple. Ironically enough, Granny Smith apples are pretty spherical to begin with. It's the big ass green apple. It's not a bad apple. It's a green apple. Alright, and then I'm gonna go and make my apple a little bit fancy, like I just pulled off the tree. And I'm just gonna go and put a little scrungly leaf with it. Let's say it was a bad harvesting season. But yeah, there you go. You got your apple. This is your simplest apple. We can go more complex, like making a red delicious. Because at that point, what you're doing, if you're drawing like something like a red delicious apple, you're actually extruding it, and you're gonna go and probably take it down just a touch, like this, like that, because you're drawing like a trapezoid at that point. Because when it comes to drawing a red delicious apple, those are the more complicated apples. What you could do is that you go and imagine the bottom of the apple, and then you find the top of the apple. Because at this point, you're no longer drawing the cube, you're drawing a cylinder now. Yeah, I know, right? Thank you for teaching us, Grandmaster. That apple looks like a bad apple. Oh my god! No, this is a bad apple. Red delicious apples, disgusting. They're bitter. They're ugly. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna go and fade this just a touch. And what we're gonna go and do is, here's how you get your red delicious, is that you just kind of go up like this, and I'm gonna put like a dip on this side because that's just how they grow. I don't know why they grow like that. They kind of look like bell peppers at times, but trust me, believe in the process of said ugly ass apple. All right, and then they're kind of like very punched in at the top. It's like God decided to go and say, I'm just gonna punch the shit out of this apple, and it's not gonna enjoy it. And as well as also the apple's gonna be very angry for the rest of its life. So it's just gonna be bitter. It's gonna be bitter and ugly. There you go. It may look like a bell pepper, but it's actually an apple. I swear. All right, and then the stem on it. Can you tell I worked retail? Anyway. Anyways, there's no leaf on it. It doesn't get the leaf. It doesn't get the attribute of leafdom. There you go. But there you go. That is your real bad apple. The red delicious apple. I made a vase. Well, I mean, if you made a vase, how do you reverse it and turn it into an apple? Well, all you need to do is that I would imagine that you probably did it like this. Let's see. You probably did it like this, where it is. You probably did it like this. Something like that, right? Am I correctamundo on this? I was comment that it looks like a bell pepper. Yes, I beat you to it then. Well, so say you accidentally messed it up and you turned it into a vase. Well, I'm gonna go move this onto this layer. So you have this vase and you're just like, I wanted to draw an apple. Well, actually no, I want to go and keep it right here. So I'm gonna go and be 100% solid on this. I'm just gonna go and erase this. All right, so I got that. And I'm just gonna go and just erase that a little. Fix that line. And then I'm just gonna go and fix the sharp corner right here, because you don't want to be too sharp. You gotta keep it curvy. Keep it curvy, right? And then you just kind of erase the back. All right? It's kind of like a work in progress. Work in progress. It's just how it be. All right? But I also want to keep the apple shape. Remember, an apple shape, this is where the triangle comes in too. You can use a triangle, you can use a cylinder, but generally you want that like an arrow going down. And then I could go on. It's like we're trying to like save a miscreation. Generally something like that. And then you just kind of put a little tiny thingamabob on top of it. But I want to go and so say fix the lines. I could go and sketch on some extra lines and then just erase afterwards. This is what we have erasers for. See? There you go. Apple has been saved. We are arting indeed. So we got our initial first page. Look at that. Let's look at it. Let's look at what we got. We got hands. We got apples. Hands and apples. What if the hand was to hold said apple? Well, let's go and fix up this apple, right? So now, what I'm going to do, we're going to cross the beams. I'm going to go move this apple first. I'm just going to put this little tiny apple back in. All right, and I'm going to go move it. Get the big apple. Big apple. Right about there. All right. So, how do we hold the apple in our hand? Kirby, so drawing apples is like drawing women? Well, I mean, you could say that, I guess. If you want to go and keep your mind in a gutter. It's not possible. It can't be. So, generally, we drew a fruit. We drew a hand. But now we must draw a hand and a fruit. And we'll draw it from both angles. Actually, maybe even 3 angles. But generally, here we go. So I'm going to shrink this down just a little bit because I'm only going to fit this apple into a multitude of angles. I'm going to lock this layer because I don't need this layer right now. But generally, here we go. So we got 3 apples. And I want to go and hold 3 apples. How am I going to hold the apples? Because we already know on how the bread works. We know on how the digits work and putting the little french fries on top of the fingers. We learned about how to go and make the actuations of the segmentations of the fingers and the thumb. Now, I'm going to take a deeper look into it. So first, I'm going to just go and do a hand covering the apple. So say that I'm holding the apple, but I'm also angling in toward myself. And I'm going to go and make this layer, I'm going to make it a blue layer. Everything's blue. But what if it's blue? Yes. Alright, so generally what I want to do, I'm going to draw the bread. And this is why I said bread. Because bread curves. Look at that. See? We already got our formation. Now you see on how this is just like kind of cupping the apple. I want my fingers to start from right here. I want one finger right here. Right there, right? And then on my pinky finger, I'm not even going to really see the pinky finger because what we're doing is that we're drawing the cube just like this. See how it goes? Just like this. It's a rectangle because our hand is actually wrapping around it. All right? I'm going to leave this. I'm going to take this square for an example. I'm going to go move it down to my reference. Yeah, down here. So we could see what's going on behind the scenes of So Said Apple Grappling. We're grappling the apple. Alright, so right there. And then right there. And then right about there. You might see a little bit of the knuckle, but generally this is what we're looking at. Now, where's our thumb? Because we got the top of our thumb and it's gonna curve. It's curving around the apple. Our apple's kind of big. So, I'm gonna just do it like this. And I'm gonna go and do the same thing where I imagine that there is a square right here. I'm gonna go and take that square. I'm gonna go and move that square right over here. I'm gonna put it right there. One back up here. And then one connect right here. And then we circle it around. You don't see the thumb, but generally this is what we're looking at. And then, wait for it. I'm gonna attach the wrist. Right there. We got our wrist. Wristimicate. Look at that wrist. There you go. So, that is our first grappling the apple. Kill the apple! We're not gonna kill the apple today. We're just gonna go and grapple the apple. Alright, alright. So, even if I remove the apples, you see that it's holding at least something. Now, next, we're gonna go and draw our next angle of holding the apple. So, we did it from this side. Now, we're gonna go and do it from the other side. So, we remember the cube, the square that we did last time. Remember the bread that we slapped onto the said apple. Now we're going to do it from behind. So we imagine, you see on how this curvature of the apple is. So we have a curvature going on in this apple. Let's see. Where's our apple? Here's our apple. Alright, I'm going to go down my reference line. So this is what I'm seeing. We kind of have it going like this. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and attach a bread to the back side of the apple. Now, I'm showing you guys this just because this is what I see every time when I'm drawing. So this is like stuff that mentally goes through my head. Now, for you, you can draw these lines. There's nothing saying that you can't draw the lines. These guidelines are what help you make the drawing that you want to go and pull out of your brain. Imagine chiseling a stone. That's the best way how I can explain it. I got a sad face. Why we got sad? Oh, it's just to kill the apple. I don't know what's going on, but kill the apple. No, we're not killing the apple. No. So generally, we're slapping bread on the apple. That's what we're doing. We're slapping some bread. And I'm gonna slap bread right onto the back of the apple, just like this. And much like the previous hand, I'm gonna go and do a little bit less on the guides. I'm just gonna go and do it like this. So, you see the bread? Yep, we got bread. And I'm gonna go and wrap one finger. So we see on how this finger wraps around, right? So that means that we're gonna go and draw the brick again. And the brick is gonna go right around here. And then we're gonna do our second brick right here. We got bricks and bread. Bricks and bread. Alright? Just like that. Just like that. Just gonna go move all these down to here. There we go. My phone went off. Who's messaging me right now? Who could it be? Who could it be now? Who could it be now? Who could it be knocking at my door? Go away. Don't come around here no more. It is ads. Yay! I love ads. I love it when ads ping me in at like 4 o'clock in the morning. That's great. Anyways, I have actual classes coming up. Bye-bye, everyone. Well, you enjoy your classes, sir. Going from one class to another. Anyways, so let's go and continue on what we had here. So, what I want to do is I'm just going to go and draw my fingers, wrapping around, grappling the apple in. Now notice, I'm only just showing the tips of the fingers, the little tippy tips of the fingers. And I'm using the little fuse method too. And then the pinky just kind of curls around. And then with the thumb, I'm just gonna go and follow this brick. And just kind of just connect it right there. Right about there. Yep. You wanna know why there's not much to go and show? Because the apple is actually covering a majority of the hand. So, in reality, even though we went through all this stuff, sometimes all you need to do to go and draw a grappling of the apple in, you don't even need this. Sometimes you could just cheat it. You could cheat it by just drawing some little beans around the apple, like this. And fit it to the curvature of the shape of the apple. And there you go. Just make sure that you get your palm and your wrist. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. Tipsy of the finger? Yes, the tippy tip. Good luck with classes. What is this? A screenshot Clip Studio Paint inside MS Paint? Indeed, my fellow chatter, indeed. We're going meta. Now, we're going to go and do something a little bit more complicated, so bear with me, everyone. What we're going to do this. I'm going to go and move this extruded box with a sphere in it. Let's see, where do I want to move this? Where do I want to move you? I'll just move you all. Move you all! Except for that. I want to keep that because that's a funny looking apple. I'm just gonna move you up here. There we go. There we go. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. That's my standby. Why did I switch to standby? I think because I have my button connected to it. We're going back to the tablet. We're not on standby. Not yet. No. Nah. All right. But you just get a threat. May you draw us a 9 later. a 9-ball? Or are you talking about Cerno? You want me to draw Cerno? Well, we'll get into drawing some characters very soon. But I will be doing, get this guys, get this. When we drew our hand, but we do have another set of limbs with another type of appendage at the end of it. You can probably take a wild guess as what we're going to do right afterwards. So, and it's very simple. It's a difficult thing. People are obsessed with it, but not many people know how to draw. So, anyways, so what we're going to do very quick, this is going to be our last section of the hand tutorial. It will be, we're going to grab the apple from the top. We're only going to use the tips of our fingers to go and hold the apple. So, here we go. So this is where we get like complicated. We're doing some complex hand movements. So, something like this. You gotta go and sweep down. And I'm gonna go and just kind of imagine the bread. Alright, guys? So, imagine bread. Alright? We got a little bit of like a fancy curvy bread this time. And I'm gonna try and limit my utilization of the vectors. But we're going to go and make our hand kind of like this. I'm going to draw it in like a framing very quick. So, just like this. Let's see. Just like this. This is how we're going to draw our hand. It's going to go, the wrist is going to go straight down. Energy is going to go down this direction. So, I'm just going to move this very quick. So, imagine your hand is just going straight down. It's making like a little tiny octopus shape. Got one digit right here. This is one of those times where you need to go and actually draw all your digits. Because we're spreading them out. Spreading out the digits. Something like this. It's kind of like what you learned. You're using all your noggin is jogging. It's not the best, but it is something that's worth looking at. But that's also what we use frames for. So if I go and move this, I'm just gonna go and, so say I just slightly erased it, made it a little bit faded on the paper, and there we go. And now we're going to go for real. Because sometimes, let me tell you one thing. One thing about art is that sometimes art is a matter of getting things right. It is a matter of drawing it over and over again until it looks good. Or just sculpting it and sketching it until it looks even better. Alright? So we got our thumb on the back. Sometimes you could also go and look at your own hand for reference if you can't get the shape. Because that's what hands are for. You can look at hands to draw hands, to go maximize on hands. It's hand maxing. Alright, and remember my segmentations of my fingers. Alright. And then just go like that. No. Hold it. Holding an apple. And then this is going to go and curve around just slightly. So holding the apple. And the pinky is not even going to touch it. But generally, this is what we got. We even got our wrist. Wrist is just going to go straight up like this. There you go. And now you can throw your apple in the garbage. I'm just going to fix that finger. Stole me off. But there you go. Sometimes you just can't get it right. But just how it be. What's the difference for G Pen X, Y, and my pens? These were just experimentational pens. I'm just trying these. Let me see. What are my settings on these? I think these were just so I could easily switch in between pens. And so I could just have different settings all the time. So if I want to go and like, what do you say, like your reserves? I don't know on how, like pens if they were swatches, I guess. But generally, this is what we got. This is right here. This is our hand tutorial. And now we're moving on to, you guessed it, we're moving on to feet. Moving on to the foot. The foot is important. Why is the foot important? Because for some reason, no one knows how to draw feet these days. And I know what you're thinking. You filthy degenerate. Pens, if they were good. I guess. I don't really even remember what I did to these pens. I did something to these pens to make them better than the default G pen, but they do be smooth. Yes, we're drawing feet now. So, generally, we learned that drawing bread can make hands. But, how do you draw feet? That's a good question. Because normally, I just control that. Normally when you draw a foot, normally it's just kind of like, how do I draw a foot? Do I just draw like this or something like that? Huh? Wait? Actually, that actually just kind of looked like feet. But normally you get people, they draw their characters, right? You get your character. We're just gonna go and draw our character. Get the hips in there. Got the hands. Hand. And then get our legs. But they never draw the feet. No one ever draws the feet. See? No one ever draws them. They normally draw something that covers them. Oh, I need to go and switch my pen. Let's see. Go with this pen. There we go. Alright. So, yeah, normally people just draw the feet. They don't draw, actually, sorry, they don't draw the feet. They normally block out the feet, or they only show like the top part of the character. The reason why is because feet are difficult to draw, actually. It's very surprising. Are you going to make it cut cheese? Audibly yelled out feet. They be looking square. They definitely weren't there. Anyways, so here's how, this is going to be a very quick one. This is not going to be like the hand one, but generally here's how we do the foot. So we're going to do it from a side angle, this way. We're going to go look this way. So first off, we got our framing for the foot. So we got our leg. Let's say this is our leg. We're going to go and just draw a leg just like this. Our calf. But we got to go and connect it to the heel. To be honest, I generally don't draw feet. I draw like Spider-Man feet, where it's just like a vaguely foot-like shape. Well, yeah, I mean, you could do that, but this is how we do it. This is how we do it in the business. All right, so what we do is that we go and draw what I would like to go and say like a trapezoid. So we got a trapezoid, right? This is going to be our heel. And it could be extruded, it could be short, it could be anything. Generally so as long as you get that shape. But here's where we connect. And what we want to do is that, remember, our feet are not just pegs. They stick out. They have little supports that go and fill out to the tarsals. I think that's what they're called, right? Metatarsals or some sort of shit like that. Some kind of science stuff. But generally, they stick out. They go out to the ball. And what you want to do is this is where you draw the triangle. You see how it is? Roger, that's fair. Socks. I could have just said socks. Yeah, but generally, this is how you go and get your basic shape of your foot. This is the basic shape. But you gotta remember, you do have toes. And your toes are an extension of this triangle right here. And what you want to do to go and extend that out, all you need to do is draw a little line right here, and then just fill in that cube right at the top, so you get a little slice. You see what I did there? All right, now let's go into higher detail. So we got the same leg from last time, and I get that peg, I get that little tiny nice trapezoid here, and now I want to go on actually, let's say I want that nitty gritty of the foot. I go and try and get that arch into the foot. Well, here's all you need to do. we drew this triangle right here that's sticking out. All you need to do is raise it up just slightly. Because we do have arches on our feet. It goes for both sides. And our arches, they don't raise up too high, but they do raise up a little bit. And all you need to do is do this. And then the shortcut to getting the toes, this is all you need to do. Just do it like this, and then you just draw another square right here at the end. Bam, you got, it's now starting to look a little bit more foot-like. So, now, let's say we want to draw it, we drew it from a side angle, right? But now we can draw it from a frontward angle using, surprisingly enough, a similar method. So, we get our leg, same leg. This time, we're going to go and face it this way. Just slightly. Just slightly. All right? And here's a fun fact. Your heel, yes, sure, your heel does have a dynamic oval shape to it, but if we're drawing in cartoon shapes, do we really have to go and apply to that? Not necessarily. Unless you're like drawing like bare feet, which not a lot of the time you are going to be drawing bare feet unless you're like drawing like a specific like barefooted Touhou character or something like that. But for now, we're going to go and pretend like our foot is just wearing shoes. But because we're going to get into the bare foot afterwards, right after this. But generally, this is what we're looking at. So the ball, the same peg, follows the direction of the foot. So generally, what I'm talking about is that you got, just grab that. You got the toe, and you got the major part of the foot. This moves. This can go around in any direction along the character. So that means I could draw it out going this way, and I could rotate it around. No matter where it goes, it will always look like a foot. So it's easier, surprisingly enough, it's easier to kind of rotate a foot than it is to rotate a hand. I don't know why it is, but it's just how it is. It's just because of your feet are kind of like an amalgamous shape, more like than your hand, which has more like an accurate shape, and it's more dynamic in a sense. Your foot legitimately doesn't have much for movement. It can articulate, but it can't fold like your hand. I mean, yeah, sure, your toes can fold, but your foot really can't. So, what we're going to go and do is that I'm just going to go and draw like this. So remember this shape from earlier, the triangle. Well, now once it folds out and goes this way, now it's turning into the exact same type of trapezoid that this is. But it's just going to overlap it because it connects up directly. So you're taking this shape right here, and you're connecting it up to here. You're taking this shape, connecting it to here. And then with the toes this is where it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to take this big toe right here. I'm going to rotate it out to here. So how would I do that, you ask? Well, simple. Just take the cube or the brick, whatever you want to call it, and you just place it right there. There you go. There you go. And then you can imagine that it's holding its shape, and it looks like a foot. If I remove all these arrows, these ridiculous looking arrows, get these arrows out of here. I don't need them anymore. There you go. You got your basic foot shape. And obviously this is kind of like if the foot's like being supported a little bit by like a heel or something like that, but generally I could flatten it out. Just flatten it out. If I want to go and make it look exactly like on how this foot is positioned, all you need to do is just do a little bit of this. Pick it up a little bit. There you go. And thus, I have rotated the foot. But now obviously, we have toes. We have digits on our feet. But I want to draw said digits on the feet. Well, here's how you would draw the digits on the feet. Here we go. Here we go. This is our nitty-gritty part. So, we got our leg again. We got our heel. Right? We already got all of that down. So, what we want to do to draw our toes, we just draw the same shape again. Stack it. And this is where it gets interesting. So, if you look at your main big toe, this, unlike the fingers, the big toe is actually going to be your guide point. So you want to draw your big toe first, right here. So imagine like this, big square right here. It's the largest toe on your foot. All your other toes, disincluding the end toe, your pinky toe, now your pinky toe that you're going to stub into your dresser drawer when you walk out of the room. This one, it's going to be right here. Right about there, right? And the thing is about your smaller toes is that they do angle in a little bit. So, what we're going to do to go and actuate all these toes is that we just do it like this. And then we do 3 right here. And 1, 2, and 3. Bam. Bada bing. Bada boom. But if you want to go and make them so say your toes are flat, because everyone has different shaped toes. I know that. But you can just do it like this. Just flatten it down just a little bit. And then 1 and 2. And there you go. And then you could go and just draw the extra shaping around the heel. And then go up like this. Don't forget the fact that there's a ball joint on the outside of your heel. I know people sometimes mistake that the inner ball joint is bigger. It's actually not. Your bones are weird, lame, and dumb. But generally, there you go. This right here is your foot shape. And then we could also go a little bit more in depth by, so say if I dip the toe down this way, I want to go and start out with the exact same shape like this one right here. Just going to get that general shape right there. And I want to go and take this shape right here. Now I go and just dip it down. Oh, actually, no, I want to take this one. I want to take this one right here. Sorry about that. I want to take this shape, and I'm just going to dip it down. Notice how it is just kind of the same shape. But I want to go and pull it forward just a little bit, because we got to remember, our feet do have a slight direction in order to go and create support. May use a stream archive in the future in case I get into drawing one day. Oh, don't worry. I mean, you could join in right now. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from grabbing a piece of scrap paper and a pen or a pencil or something like that. This is an interactive stream. All right? All right. So, it's going to go and do it like this. So we got that shape. That would be right here. That's what we're looking at. And now what I'm going to go and do, I'm going to go and draw our toes. Just like this. And I'm going to draw like this. Now you see what I'm doing right here on how I fuse in these 3 middle toes? The reason why I do that is because it makes it easier. Cheating in art has always been a thing. And if it means to whatever it means to get the idea out of your head easier onto the piece of paper, it's always a good idea. Because then, so as long as you can make it look nice afterwards, that's all that matters. Unless it's AI, then you're just cheating. You're not even creating anything. So this is what we're going with. And so say, like I said earlier about the whole cheating thing, I can just go and take this. I'm going to go copy you. I'm going to paste you over here. Cut. Paste. Fade. All right. So, you see how this foot is and how this foot is. So I want to go and add detail to the foot. Sorry for zoning out, teacher. Oh, don't worry. I'm not one of those guys that'll throw a piece of chalk at your forehead for not paying attention in class. I'm a guy that just keeps on moving on. Why do you want to make the pinky stand out? Because that's just how it is. That's actually how, if you look at your toe, that's just how your feet are shaped. Now, obviously, there are multiple foot shapes. There is there is your straight line foot shape. There is your pentagon foot shape, and there is your what do you say, your ship deck foot shape, and there's also your sharp foot. So we're going with the most basic design, but this is kind of like just how my foot looks because I'm looking at my foot right now. And yeah. So if I want to add more detail to the foot, here's how I do it. Just go like this. Because you gotta go in with your toe, and then you go in with the ball. Connect it to the heel. We're doing from the inside where the ball is a little bit on the large side, but not too large. The outside ball is always larger than the inside ball. Just like this. So, just gonna go like this. Gonna curve that. And it's gonna go all the way back. And then next part, just gonna pull that out, and there you go. You got your standard foot. OMG, indirect Jotun foot pick. Oh my god. Someone censor this stream. Also for the AI thing, I do like the use of AI to force to do drawings that I'm not confident enough in, like side pectorals. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about AI. You can utilize AI if you cannot actuate a form. What do I mean by that? So say I cannot for the love of God draw this foot. What should I do? Well, I could use a AI tool to go and assist me in drawing the foot, but it doesn't mean I'm going to utilize the foot. I can look at it and then draw it. But I'm not going to go and use the foot that the AI tool generated and call it my own, because that's not how it works. That's just not how arting works in that sense. If I were to use a generative AI tool, which I don't, I would use it to go and render things that I cannot create myself, or I would use it as reference. I would only use it as reference, not as something that I created myself, because I didn't create that thing. The machine did. So that's my philosophy on AI slop. Do you not have a foot for reference? I do have a foot for reference. I mean, here's another thing. Normally, I wouldn't even use an AI tool for referencing. I would just look up the images. I mean, maybe as a last resort, I could generate something to go and use as a reference, but typically no. I would never use AI to go and create art for me, because it's like, why would I use an AI to go and create art when I could go and create the art myself? I don't see any point in it. That's really how it is. Just got cartoonily draw feet. I was talking about your Roger teacher. It's better if you want to learn style. Nah, yeah, I guess. But getting off of the subject of AI, going back to the feet, generally this sums up pretty much everything that you really need to know about feet. Because there's, surprisingly enough, not a lot to it. But so say, if I want to go and draw a shoe over this foot, we'll take this foot right here, the same foot from previous, and I want to put a shoe on the foot. Because remember, we wear shoes outside, and we don't want to wear shoes. We don't want to go out barefoot when it's 120 degrees outside in the Arizona desert. That's bad, especially when you step on the tarmac. Then your feet kind of turn into the scrambled eggs. I learned that from experience back in the day. All right, so just gonna go and connect our heel again. Okay, now we're gonna go and draw a tipsy foot, tipsy shoe, tipsy the shoe. So you get the drippy drip from the tippy tip, and all it is that you take the basic shape of the foot. I can even remove the toes. Here, I'll just remove the toes from this frame. There you go. Remove the framing, all the framing. There you go. Just get the cubes. All right. So So say we just have our most basic shape. Even actually no. We'll go even further back. There. So say we just have this. Because when drawing shoes, you don't even really need the toes. You just need to imagine that there's toes in there. So something like this. Go and circle it around. Oh, I need a little more control on my pen. Just kind of circle it around, bring it around town. Formulate. And then we'll pull this shoe up just a little bit. Erase. Always remember that you have an eraser. Alright? So, it's almost like drawing a sock almost. But you're putting some details on it. You're going to make it solid. Rock solid. Or as solid as a shoe can be. And then just draw the shape over the foot just like this. Alright, and then we're going to put the flap right here. Pinch it, go like that, go like that. Actually, I want a little bit of a dip right there. Right about here. There we go. And there you go. You got a shoe on the foot. She big stepper. Yeah, indeed. Don't be like Marissa in Touhou 18.5. Intense shape language. Yes. Actually, speaking of Arizona heat, heat has an unimportant side thing. I used to bake a tray of cookies yesterday. Pretty tasty. Huh. AZ heat is pain. It can be. It can be if your room doesn't have any insulation like mine. It's a little steamy in here right now. But generally, this is what we're looking at for our shoe. A shoe and a foot. Granted, this foot's at kind of an angle, but you get the general idea of what we're going off of. Have a good rest of your stream. I'm going to work. All right, you have a good day at work, fellow chatter. Let's see. What if they are wearing heels? All right. So, a heel. How do I draw a high heel? A heel in general. So, let's go and take this foot right here. We're going to take this foot. Because since we're forward-facing foot, this will be our last foot. It'll be almost like taking our combined foot knowledge in order to go and craft said heel foot. Control T. Oh my god, that's the wrong thing. Wrong thing. There I go. Yes. I'm just going to scroll that down. So, all we need to do is imagine that wherever our heel is, that is going to be the base of the shoe itself. So, when we draw a high heel, a heel in general, you gotta remember that it's raised because it's supposed to be pumping up the calves. So, that means like elevated. So it's something like this. We go from step 1 down to step 2. Something like that, right? So, what we want to do, I want to take this. And I want to take this. I want to go move it down here. Because I'm going from step 1 to step 2. And step 1, this is step 1. This is step 2. Oh, and my music just ended. Here, let me just go and fix that very quick. You're going to see like a black bar on the corner. I'm just going to go and move that. I'm just going to move that. There we go. Oh my god, why is my screen so wide? Ah! Ah! There you go. You gonna get ads? No ads. There you go. Play the music! Alright. All right, so like I said, we got step 1, we got step 2, and it's going to travel down. So, and then what we got right here, we got our toes. Let me see right here. We got our toes right here, just like normal, just like previous. But you see on how we have steps. And now what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go remove these. Actually, I'll probably move them aside just for the visual aid. Step 1, step 2. Yes. Naruhodo. Alright, so this is from a forward angle. We'll do a side angle right afterwards. But generally what we want to do from here is that we want to start and work back. So we get our toes and go up just like this. And we kind of curve it up. See how I followed from step 1 to step 2. In this case, I'm going from step 2 to step 1. And then we just go up like this. And we go up like this. And we'll just connect these. Alright. And then our heel, let's make it a big chunky heel. So a big chunky heel right there in the back. You see that heel already formulating. I'm going to make the front a little bit pointed. A little pointy. A little pointy. Alright? And then it's going to do a fold over right here. And drag it up. Drag it up right there to the back. I'm going to put a little bit of a cross pad over it. There we go. And we'll put a back support on it. Get some Sequoia. We're going to get the Sequoia references up in here. There we go. It's Sequoia. But generally, yeah, that's how you get a heel. You see that? It's kind of more just like raising the back and then lowering the front. Hello there, fellow chatter. We're doing art tutorials, so if you want to go and join in, or go back into the past of the stream, you can. I am fully welcoming you to go and join in and grab a piece of paper and a pencil to go and join in on this funny doodling adventure. But with that oh, actually, no, we'll do one last thing. We'll do the foot from the side. Foot from the side. All right? We'll do that. All right. So all we need to do, heel from the side. Go right here on this side. Same thing. Got the leg. And what we're going to do, this is what it looks like when you put a heel on. So like I said, we got step 1, step 2. So we got step 1 right here. And we're going to drag it right down here in step 2. Something kind of like this. Kind of like that. Our toes, they're supported. But they kind of angle down. So here's your step 1. Here's your step 2. And now what we're going to do, let's go back onto our main layer. There you are, main layer. And then go and get our heel. Now here's the thing, remember, even though it is step 1, step 2, step 1 is going to be tilted in just a little bit because when we're standing on heels, we kind of like tilt forward. The back heel tilts forward just a tad. I don't make the rules. It's just how it be. Okay. Let's see. Let me get the balls in the Nope. Right about that. And then if I remove steps 1 and 2, got something like this. Similar to this. And then go even deeper. And I'm going to go and draw the heel, draw the shoe over the foot. So let's see. I'm going to start from right here at the bottom. Let's see. Right about there. I'm going to push this forward. I'm going to follow it up. Follow it up, just like that. And then arch this. It's going to go up just like this. Back support. A little bit too tall in back support. I'm going to flip this around just so I can see what I'm doing, because my left hand is covering the screen. It's left-handed disability. It's just how it is. All right, let's see. I got it now. And then the heel just kind of just falls in. It kind of just falls in like that. It just be like that. Big chunky heel. And there you go. You got your heel from side. Put some frilly sock on there. Make it look like Saguya. Shaguya. Izayoli. Either his music or his mic is quiet. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm quiet? Yummer's finding something that helps with my art. Well, hopefully that means I am assisting. Maybe it's my music that's quiet. Here, I'll turn it up just a touch. There you go. There you go. Is that good? Is that good? All right. Turn the airplane back on. But yes, this is the feet. You guys got it? You guys got it? How are we doing here in chat? Because what we're going to do, we're going to go and... No. You don't got it? What do you mean you don't got it? What you missing out on? What you missing out? That's worse? The music's now too loud. Okay. I should have phrased it better. The music is loud now. Aw, man. Good feats. Music too loud. Joe quiet. So I'm quiet? Maybe if I bring my mic down here. Is that good? Is that good? I'm like shoving the mic in my eyeball right now. Ah! Anyways, so there you go. That is feet. Now here we go. Let us jump into a main segment. And I make the voice loud, but the music quiet. I have no clue how to make my voice any louder, but here, let's go and do some properties on the advanced audio properties. How's that? Am I louder? Am I louder now? Am I louder? I think I just turned it up even higher. I think. Did I get it? Am I louder than the music now, or am I still too quiet? I'm waiting for an answer. No, the music's louder still. Oh. Well, good sound, sound good. Okay. All right. Well, with that, let's go and hop into our main. So, I showed you how to go and do hands. I showed you how to go and do feet. What's next? We're going to go. We're going to do a bust. We're going to do a head. But whose head shall it be? Whose head shall it be? I'll go and now we gonna put some democracy in here. Democracy time. Whose head shall it be? Let's see. We'll do a Reimu. We'll do a Raisin. Let's see. Who else? Shibata. Yu. Saki Kuro Kuma. Yeehaw one. Alright, fine. We'll replace Chibata with Saki. There we go. Alright, start poll. Democracy lives! Alright, I'll be right back. While you guys are voting on that, I'm going to go and get something to snack on very quick because my stomach is empty because I forgot to go and eat breakfast this morning. I can imagine yourself perceiving yourself not eating breakfast yesterday. Anyways, to the standby screen! Alright, I'm back! Let us check on our status and what we got. Let's go back to our tablet. Let's check our democracy status. Ooh, we got a three-way tie going on here. It's a battle in between Saki, Yu, and Reimu. Raisin's getting the boot. I want my Yu, and I need it now! Don't mind me, I managed to go and get some kind of like blueberry granola bar. It was super dry. Holy shit. It did taste good though. At least there was that. We got 15 votes. I'll give it one more minute. One more minute. Raisin is cooked? Yes, cooked bunny. Let's see. We'll give it until 42. 42. Right now it's 341. Once it turns 342, I'm ending the poll, whether you like it or not. Yu heads aren't cool. Saki gangster is better. Saki wa uzukushii. Demo wa Yu mecha mecha kawaii. To uzukushii da yo. Raisin might not be. She might not be coming back from this one. Oh, it's 42. Ending the poll in 3, 2, 1. Oh. Who won? A three-way tie? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? A three-way tie. Okay. Well, it looks like... Actually, no. Wait. Saki? Saki got chucked? Okay. Well, okay. Another poll then. Lightning round. Lightning round on this poll. All right. Here we go. Yu. Raisin. Reimu. Alright, go. Yu, Raisin, Reimu. Alright, guys, here we go. This will only be a 2-minute, probably 2 to 1 minute poll. 2 to 1 minute poll. It's already 43. Once it turns 44, poll's done. Done. Gone. Forever. Decided. Democracy. Dead. Looks like we got Raisin in the lead. Udongan is making it. She's making it. Alright, we got a couple seconds left. Bunny sweep, everyone. She's making the bunny sweep. She went from the bottom and made it up to the top. Oh, it's 44. Time to go and end the poll. And the winner is Raisin and Danganaba. I think. Yes! All right. There we go. Okay, so we're doing Raisin. All right, here we go. So, our focus is going to be Binui. Oh, wait, that Binui. Alright, so. Yu, my goat, no! I can't believe Saki won, guys. I'm so happy. Cope. Cap, cope. Your Saki is no more. Peter, the horse is gone. Alright, so. Here we go. We got Binui. So. All right, get your pencils back out again, everyone. We're going to go and get started back on this. So, like I said earlier, we were talking about spheres, right? Spheres. We got the circle, and we got the sphere. That's what we're doing. Don't cope, I hope. All right, so what we're going to be doing the bust. The bust. I'm going to raise this. I'm going to raise my mic up so I'm not bashing my head against said mic. There we go. My pop filter. There we go. Drink some water very quick. Regain myself so my ADHD doesn't take over. All right. So, we got our paper back out, got a pencil in hand, or pen, whatever you choose. We're going to go and do this. So, the most simplest way of drawing an anime head. Circle. You guys got that? Got a circle? Look at that circle. Alright, next thing's next. I'm going to be drawing it in my style just a little bit, but not too much. I'm going to go and get our jawline. I'm just going to connect right here. We've got a pentagon, so imagine a pentagon. Something like this. And then the line that crosses right in between, this is your punnet. Your wondrous punnet. Your cross lines of your face, where your eyes are going to be. You lower it too, depending on how you feel. But generally, this is what you got. This is the face. I love being circle, indeed. All right. Next. Now we got our basic shape, and I'll do it for. We'll do it for the next angle too. So I go and take this circle, and I just go and recreate it. We're not going with perfect shapes today, but we're going with legible. Just legible. Alright, so, angle, chiaroscuro. Everyone knows about the chiaroscuro angle. I'm just going to flip this around with some left-handed. Alright, there we go. So, this, you just kind of just lurch that out just a little bit. You're going to draw a funny little shape like this. Dip it in just a little bit. Something kind of like this. Because we're going to complex. These are complex shapes, by the way. No one ever said that drawing heads were easy. But I can make them easy if I want to. It's the reason why I normally remove the bottom jaw. There's something stuck in my lower cheek. Okay. What are you? Oh, there's a piece of granola stuck in my lower... Oh my god, okay. There's a piece of granola stuck in my lower cheek. Alright. So, next, side head profile view. Come on. There we go, we get a circle. There we go, we're circling now. Alright. I love being a shark. Granola attack. Oh, yes. Draw line on the side head profile is normally a little bit complicated, but if you draw the neck, place the neck like right about here, you can normally get it right afterwards. Right about there. And yes, there are quicker ways that you could go and do this, alternate ways that you could go and do this. I choose to do it this way. And you can do it like this too, where you can actually just draw the mouth, and then get the jaw in there. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to go back to our forward-facing head. I'm going to narrow out this head just a little bit, but just a little bit. Alright, so these are just frames. Frames are not as important as the final product. I struggle with neck placement. Don't worry, I will assist you with neck placement. So, when... Well, we'll go and do our forward-facing head, and then we'll get the neck placement right afterwards. So, here we go. I'm going to fade this just a touch more. Yeah, just a touch more. Yeah. Alright, so, forward-facing head. The easiest way to go and draw any form of head. Got the jawline. It's best to start with the jawline because you can only follow it up with the rest of the skull afterwards. Also, depending on the character that you're drawing, you can normally cover up the entire head, like this entire top part of the skull, with a bunch of hair. Hair normally fills in a whole bunch of shit. That was the first time I heard someone call the crosshairs. Call them crosshairs. I always call them facial crosses. Yeah, I call them crosshairs.
But generally, when you're drawing the head facing forward, you gotta remember that your ears
Directly connect to the top of your jawline.
So you follow up with the jaw, just like so, and then right as soon as you hit it right about here, you can just put an ear there. Or you can put a dip down just a little bit. It's your choice on wherever your ear placement is, because not everyone has the exact same type of ear placement. See?
But for the sake of this, we're not drawing someone with ears. No, we're drawing Udongan. And Udongan does not have normal human ears, not from I can recall, unless if Zun decided to go and do something dumb like he did with Chen or Mike. So, did you know that Mike, Oren, and Chen all have 2 sets of cat ears? It's weird.
Anyways, so we're gonna imagine that Raisin probably has ears, but we're gonna go and just connect up to the top of the skull. Kind of form that cabeza. Kabuto. Atama.
Alright, so now we got our basic head. Granted, it's not the perfect shape, but we're not going for perfection today. I mean, I might go for a little bit of perfection. Yeehaw. Alright, so this is our basic shape. But now for neck placement. Someone said for neck placement. This is for forward-facing neck placement. All you need to do is look at this line right here, look at this line right here, and then imagine the jaw as well. And then you just kind of just follow down. It's kind of like this. Well, I like to go up. See how it matches up? You can already see the neck forming. The reason why I do like this little L shape, and then I do another L shape, is because your neck actually kind of stems and gets wider up at the top naturally. Granted, obviously, if you don't lift and you're built like a brick shit house, then you could have like a neck that looks like this, where it's just like you got the Baki neck, and you're just like, oh, I'm a hulking landmass. Oh yeah, muscles, side the chesto. But no,
we're going with our standard neck shape, which is just like a little L bracket right there, a little L bracket right there, right about there. I'm going to pull this side in and just touch.
Length really depends on your feel, on how you want your character to look. I might shorten the jawline just a little bit. Because now here's an important thing. Style. Don't find your style. What do I mean by that? Do I mean like just give up on trying to find a style? No. Getting your own art style is something that you can only obtain once you achieve the ability to go and draw without a reference. That's when you can start looking for an art style and trying to go and apply yourself to an art style. Because a lot of people, they like to go and say, oh, I need to find an art style before I could start drawing. Well, if you're doing that, you're putting the cart before the horse, and you're going to go and cripple your entire development going forward. What you're trying to really look for is a median. If you can find a median, or a medium of style, then you can go into actually finding an art style in quotations. What do I mean by a medium? That means like, do I want to do American cartoon? Do I want to do an anime art style? Do I want to do Corpo Borpo, soulless, lifeless, tiny head, big body art style? Stuff like that. Yes, just draw. Your style comes naturally. Indeed. It is very much based off of personal preference and feel. A lot of people like to go and say, I've been trying to go and find an art style for ages. Well, normally, if you've been finding an art style for ages, it just means the fact that you are lacking in certain mechanics, and you need to go back just a little bit just to go and make them solid, so then you can go back forward and really start getting into the nitty-gritty of your own development of art style. All right, so next, side head profile.
Just gonna go and do it like this. pick that up. I'm gonna go and draw a little notch right here. Sometimes I can draw a notch, sometimes you don't. I prefer not to draw notches a lot of the time because it looks weird when I do it. And then you get the back of the head. I think I made that back of the head a little too large, but what do now? What do now? Alright. Just gonna scrape that out. We're gonna go and keep our. We're gonna draw. I'm gonna take a look at those crosshairs very quick. Yes. I'm gonna shrink the jawline just a tad. Just a tad. There we go. Alright. And then neck placement. Neck placement. It's gonna go right from the back of the head and go down. Same kind of concept, but you're going in reverse. So it's this same L shape, but it's upside down. Just like that, and then it's going to meet up right about here, a slightly different angle. The front part, though, I'm going to push this forward just a touch. Ooh, it's connected. Nope, do not disconnect it. Alright, we're going to go right about here. So where your neck normally connects, you could actually move it around just a little bit, but it might make your jaw look a little bit too large. Depends on how you place it. Starting with Jotun, I love Teacher Jotun. Jotun, I am your fan. Oh, okay. Can you blow some air on me? Thank you. It's really hot in my room right now. I'm kidding. All right. So to draw heads, start with madness. Project heads base. Got it. Gotcha. Now you must draw Madness Project Nexus heads as base. Mr. CCS. Exactly. All art in existence is built upon madness combat. Indeed. Now, next is going to be a side profile. We're going to do a side profile. So, what we got right here, let's see. It's going to circle it around up like this. We're going to go and start with the top of the head and go to the back. There you go. This is always, ironically enough, I have difficulty trying to do side profiles. So you'll get to see me struggling. You'll get to see the teacher struggling. So don't worry. You get some catharsis. The reason why I always have issues is because for some reason when I'm drawing a side profile, I tend to go and mess up right around here. I don't have to mess up right around here, but I do. I do. I'm not shy about it. And that's okay. Because I'm drawing for myself right now. Okay, so let's see. So next, we got our head, but we need to go and connect the neck. And like I said from earlier, the back of the head connects to the neck. And then you just kind of just do the same L bracket. Pull it down like this. Just like so. And then connect it like that. I'm going to fix that line. It's a little too on the scummy side. There we go. That's a little bit better. Right about there. Now, you can make your jaw dip, or you could go and make it do a direct connection right here. However you feel the jawline should be, because not every jawline is exactly the same. But there we go. We got our technical 3-point head turn kind of going on right here. Not perfect, but it is something. And we're going to go from right here. We're going to fade this. And now let's get to our udongan. Someone put out a crying emoji. Guys, I messed up on my Raisin. She ended up turning into Goku. Wow, Jarj Barj. I can't imagine why you would make him make Udongan into Goku. Just add a cowboy hat and boom, it's Yaki! Master Jotun bought a cookie for you. Nice. Nice. I could go into my kitchen and grab cookie to go and proverbially imagine myself having the cookie received. Unless if it's an internet cookie, then that's no good. What have you done for her? Turn him into Goku. I don't know where it went wrong. Anyways, Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Udongan time. I'm gonna lock this layer. I'm gonna go and get up a... Actually, no. I think I could draw Udongan from memory. I'll draw Udongan from memory. This is gonna be like Udongan from a blurry memory. Alright. I'm just gonna fix that other cheek. Sometimes I have a hard time trying to make symmetry. That's just me. I've always had a hard time making symmetry. One side would always look lopsided. But not today. There we go. I'll make it. There we go. I mean, I could always copy pasta it. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to today. Alright, so we got the shape of our head, right? This is where the hair thing I told you about earlier comes in. So I'm just gonna go and get her general hair shape in here. I believe the Dongan has hair like this. Alright. I know she has long arch bangs and slightly floofy hair, not too floofy. I understand she's a bunny, but she's not a floofy bunny. I want to connect it right about here. No, maybe a little bit wider. Ooh, I got it. Itchy scratch. All right. All I want to do is just put some fun-looking shapes that just connect hair. Because here's the thing about drawing hair, right? When you're drawing hair, Matt, there's a lot of like little thoughts that go into it. A lot of people just think, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go and draw hair, right? Draw hair. Hair. Yeah, there we go, hair. Something like that, right? And then you got Yomu. Gotta remember that there is gravity. Gravity exists. Hair and gravity, they kind of go hand in hand. So. Things you gotta think about. Also, making things fluffy and cute also can pull into that as well. I keep on nudging my mic with my skull. There we go. And we'll put her little collar on. Because she looks like a Joshi Coco, say. She's a business bunny. If not in the least. If not, she's probably just wearing a schoolgirl uniform. But, alright. So, this is our Udongan. And I'm gonna go... I'll put the buttons on her head, too. She is a bunny. She gotta go and have the ears. Thankfully for her ears are very scrungly, so you can make them as scrungly as you want. This is how Udongan is. Alright. Then you got the basic shape of the Udongan. Or at least for when it comes to a head bust. We won't put her shoulders on.
There we go. Funny bunny woman. Bun bun. You're forgetting your iconic cowboy hat. All right, fine. You want a cowboy hat? You want a yeehaw? You want a yeehaw, guy? I'll yeehaw for you. Let's see. There. Now she has her iconic cowboy hat. You happy guy? Oh man. Hair can be annoying. Sometimes probably why the creatures I draw are technically bald. Damn, that's deep. I often make the mistake of drawing the hair without considering how the hair flows around the head. Yeah, because the thing is that the hair, it wraps around. So if you were to go and take the hair, it kind of just wraps around the general shape of the skull of the head. See how it goes? See how it goes? Like for example, this hair, I'm not just drawing it down straight because I could easily. Here, I'm just gonna erase this. One stroke. Because I could easily just erase this and then just line, line. But it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. You gotta go and give it with the flow of the shape of the skull. It's how you add like a little bit of that dynamic shape to her. We're not gonna add in the face yet. I'll come back for those. I'm gonna go and move these though. What am I grabbing? Oh, I'm grabbing the entire thing. What the fuck? What the fuck? Alright, there we go. Hi-yo! Anyway, gonna move that there. Right there. It's just for show. Move this head a little bit more. Alright, next angle. We're gonna go on this angle now. Because we got this Binui down. Now we're gonna do the next Binui. Oh my God, Shaki Mamma Mia Pizzeria! Indeed. Alright, more udongan from memory. I need to go and bring my pen back up to the normal thickness that I was earlier. Because someone convinced me to draw a tiny cowboy hat. I wonder who that was. Here's where you can draw at least a little bit of the top of the skull and a little bit of the back of the head. There we go. Just gonna bring it up like that. Alright. Might need to move that forward just a bit. Just a bit. Bees. We mean bees. We've got bees. All right. So next, we're going to go and get the hair. Hair is going to be easy. Same hair as last time. Just like that. Right? So we get that shape. Where it just drops down like this. And we're going to go from a different way. See how I'm curving the hair to the skull. Let's see. Just gonna push this out just a little bit because hair does do that. If you have your hair nice and puffy and not full of grease and dirt, like a rat king or something like that, then
your hair is gonna be nice and frizzy. Nice and frizzy, and it's gonna puff out. Just like that. Just gonna pull this up just a touch. There we go, there we go. And now next we got the bangs. Or actually these are bangs. These are just side tendrils. Tentacles, that's what they are, they're tentacles. Alright. Here's a common mistake that people do make is putting this hair all the way out here. Now, hair can do that. If you're trying to go and make it even, this hair is actually kind of going very far off the side. So you want to actually go and put it right around here. Let's see. Right around here. Alright. Next is going to be the back of her hair. It's going to bump up just a little bit. Bring it around town. There we go. Floof it up just a bit. On the scalp, not the length. This is to be so satisfying to watch. Extra poofy hair, indeed. All right, now I'm gonna go and poke her shoulder through here, but also I want to go and put her same suit on. Let's see. Yes. Watch, young pupil, as I go and draw a collar on her. Yes, indeed. Shirt collars on button-up shirts. Sometimes people get it wrong. I don't know why, but they do. It's just because of the weird perspective and angle of it all. Pull that out and around. There we go. And then all I need to do now is erase. Because obviously you can't see this under part of the scalp nor the neck because it is being covered by the hair, the pelo. Right? I'm just going to connect that right there, just to go and cover up extra stuffs. Next, I'm going to put her ears on. Go and put her ears on, make them nice and scrungly. Oh my god, I just saw a wall of text. We got a wall of text. Got wall of text, boys. I'll read that as soon as I'm done drawing these scrungly bunny ears. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Wonderful. The hair being that far down looks like Kaguya to me for a little bit. Yeah, it does look like a little bit like Kaguya, but then again, Raisin and Kaguya kind of have similar hair. It's be so satisfying to watch. Extra poofy hair. Me struggling with depth perception in IRL. Well, if you're struggling with depth perception IRL, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to help you on that one. Sorry about that. What drawing software are you using? This is Clip Studio Paint. Worms. We got worms in the chat. Hello from France. I'm following you since a while, and I was wondering, someone who also draw, you have tips on something like to be better. Thank you in advance. Tips on how to, what was it? Let's see, tips or something like that to be better. Well, one of the easiest things to go and say on how I would say to get progressively better, obviously the obvious advice is to draw often, draw constantly. But I think another thing is to not throw away your old drawings and constantly and look back to them. And then try to go and fix them. You can only learn from your mistakes as if you fix your mistakes and you know what your mistakes are. If you don't know what your mistakes are, you're going to constantly keep on messing up. It's kind of like if you're doing something wrong all the time and you know that you're wrong, but you don't know why you're wrong. You need to figure out why you're doing it wrong so you don't do it wrong. It's not really too simple to explain, but that's the best way on how I could explain it. Because you don't really learn if you keep on doing the same thing wrong over and over again. It's the definition of insanity. It's like the Albert Einstein quote, infinite repetition is the definition of insanity kind of a deal. It's like doing something wrong all the time and expecting the same results. Or expecting different results, I guess. Speaking of Kaguya, every time I see her face, it makes me giggle for some reason. Probably because you depict her being bald with a single strand of hair sticking out her head. Alright. I'm gonna move this. Right there. Right there. Alright, side profile time. Close enough. Welcome back, Einstein. Welcome back, Einstein! Alright, here we go. This is the one time where you can go and sculpt the mouth into the face. Now, obviously, there are two ways of drawing mouths on a character. There's the modern way and there's the traditional way. This is the traditional way where you could go and where you draw out the upper part of the jaw and the lower part of the jaw. The mandible right here, and then you get the jaw right here, and that's how you would draw it traditionally. But some people these days, me in particular, I like doing this because it's easy. You can draw mouths like this. Or draw the side profile of the face like this. Where the mouth just goes off the side. Yeah, I know, people hate it. Some people don't like it. It's kind of like making a yaiba. Like, like the yaiba? Where you have like the yaiba where it's like sticking out like this. And then some people make the skin yaiba, the skin fang, where it's just that. Or it's like how they draw mouths. They can draw a mouth like in a happy face like this. But some people draw happy face mouth like this. Let's see. Something like that. It's very much a stylistic choice at that point. And I can't help you there. But today we're going to go back. And I'm going to go and draw this jawline traditionally. Alright. Hopping in right there. No pun intended for bunnies. Locking in just a little bit. Get the front facing part of the skull up. There we go. Let's get the back of the neck. And there we go. Now here's the thing that you need to know about your neck is that your neck, even if you are standing up completely straight, your neck actually pushes your head forward just slightly. I know what you're going to say. Oh, it's scoliosis! Someone call a doctor! You need some spinal reconstruction surgery! No. It's just how your spine is normally shaped. Your spine normally goes like this, where it's kind of just like, it goes, and then arcs like this, and then kind of curves down at the bottom as it attaches down to your pelvis. Generally, your neck is always going to be pushed forward and displaced slightly from the torso. So, if I draw it like this, let's see, there we go. Always going to be like that. And I will draw her suit on early this time. There you go. Alright, and now let's get to our hair work. So we see on how the hair goes like this, and we see on how the hair goes like that. But how does it go from the side? Well, ironically enough, even as curvy as your head is, it's going to go and flatten out right about here. So we're just going to look up at our marker line with the top part of the skull, and we're just going to go and drag our hair. Kind of like on how we had this. This right here is like a precursor to what is going to go on over here. So let's see. Rotate my pen. Now, one thing to remember is that hair is floofy, and it normally does, depending on your hair floof, guys and girls, depending on your hair floof, it can actually add a couple of inches above your head, above your scalp. And so, essentially, when drawing hair, you do not need to contort it 100% to the scalp. Because that's just not how hair works. Unless if you have your hair bound back, or if you are bald or shaved, which is a hairstyle. Only then do you really have to go and be concerned about like the shape of the scalp. Only then. Like if I'm drawing Saitama, then yes, I would be concerned. Or if I'm drawing bald Kaguya, then I should be concerned about the shape instead of scalp. Let's see. And I want to go and pull this down. Keep this up. Right about there. Curls around just a little bit. We're not going to go a full length udongan here because Raisin's hair goes all the way down to like her ass. So we're just gonna go at normal length hair, reasonable length. And get her scrungly hair up in there. Or scrungly ears. We're not drawing Chiari. Chiari has scrungly hair. There you go. And there you go. You got your head tournimented in. I forgot to go and draw her neck over here. All right, now we go and get to do faces. Here's the reason why I did say faces for last. The reason why I say faces for last is because when drawing an anime character, faces are very important. The reason why the faces are super important is because that's where all your expression comes from. Just like some guy that's doing burnouts in front of my house right now. But, anyways. Faces are super important when it comes to the expression of said character. So it's best to go and dedicate the face to its own layer. Alright, let me see it. I'm just going to go and get my crosshair lines out very quick. Alright. Where are the hats for the two other busts, you say? Well, here, let me go and fix that then, sir. Let me go and fix that then, mister. So, put this over here. There we go. Tiny cowboy hat. What about Slenderman? What about Slenderman? What year are you living in? 2014? Alright, so I'm gonna go and do our faces. So, eyes, face, organization, kind of important. So let's get to it. So I'm just going to draw some simple eyes on the udongan. Let's see. I don't like the placing right there. I'm just going to move this. Now, obviously, I'm using digital software, so I do have an advantage when it comes to drawing faces. Obviously. It means that I can correct and fix some things that I think look weird. Because one of the things is, yes, this is where symmetry comes in. Very important, very handy. We'll actually make udongan happy. We'll make a happy udongan. Let's see. Let me start from this side. Get the better. There you go. You got a happy udongan. And then we'll go and do it on this angle. So this is going to be a little bit more complicated because now that we're working at a slight, turning of the angle. But I can make it easy. All you need to do is figure out where the nose goes. Wherever the nose goes is wherever it dictates the rest of everything will be. So I'm going to put the nose right about here. Alright, I'm going to put one too. When drawing at this type of angle, make sure that your mouth is pulled back behind the nose just slightly. Not too much, not too much. I'm going to make that eye just a little bit wider. I'm going to make her look forward. because what's going on with her eyes is that her eyes are going to get a little bit more on the narrow side because they are following the curvature of her eyeballs. Anime likes to portray this as a recent, so that means I must do the same. Alright, and then her pupils are going to be right in here. I'm just going to put some stars right there. Starry. Just cute bunny. Sometimes I notice the way the face is drawn can completely change a character's vibe. Indeed it can, because that's the power of expression. I'll demonstrate that to you right after I am done with this last face on this bust. Let's see. Alright, here we go. Side profile, eye. So, based off of what we have here, so here's the thing. You take the normal eye that you just previously drawn and you just kind of squish it just a little bit, but not too much. Because if you squish it too much, then it'll make you look like a different character. Just gotta nudge it into existence. There we go. I'm gonna fix her mouth. There we go. Try again. And if you're drawing with pupils, then they're going to be all the way sunken into the back. A lot of people either go and put the pupils right here. That's actually not where they lay. They're actually in here, to be behind your corneas. Right about there. Draw some little shinies in there. I'm gonna lift up the back of her eye very quick. Okay. Alright, wise guys, just do it like that. There you go. Move her eye up just a little bit. Alright. Just make the upper part a little bit thicker. And there you go. You got your head turn of the rabbit. Bunny rabbit. Should be turning heads. Or at least turning her own head. Now, I'll just quickly demonstrate to you guys what it means as like facial expressions are important. If she can't recognize a pipe bomb or fruity pebbles, then that's Raisin's fault. I hope TV doesn't put a pipe bomb on her cereal. Or no. Alright, so here we go. So, we got the facial expression from last time, so I'm just going to fade this out so I don't get the eyes right. But here we go. This is what I mean as in just like, if you change the face, it could change the character. I'll go make I'll make her happy. Super happy.
Tilt that eye just a little bit. Oh, wrong layer. See, now this has different energy from this. Because you just show this face, just like neutral face. And then you do this, it's a happy face. Tippy looking bunny. Yeah, indeed. I mean, I could turn to a donkin into a tippy, but I don't feel like doing that. But generally, that is what we got. Tippy the bunny. Well, I mean, I already have Tippy the bunny. Here, let me go and demonstrate to you Tippy the bunny. Let me see. Oh wait, I could just drag it in. See, I already drew Tipsy as a bunny. Look, I drew her as a bunny before. She didn't look too happy about it, but she was a bunny. She was a binuy. Anyways, there you go. That is the art tutorial. The art tutorial. We have, let's see, let's review. Let us review. We learned about bread. We learned about hands. We learned about bad apples. We learned about feet, leg, and other parts like the heel. And we learned about the head. Stuff like that. I think if I were to do another one of these, oh yeah, I remember that drawing. Indeed. I think if I'm to go back and do another art tutorial stream in the future, maybe next week, who knows. I'll go and demonstrate to you guys like full body. We'll do full body character doodle. Full body character doodle tutorial. That's what we'll do next time. I think that'd be a good idea. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, because I know I did. It was a very interesting art lesson indeed. It was only about, let's see, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Hey, look at that. That's the length of like a college lecture. Not bad, not bad. Totally didn't teach college lecture classes before, but you know. Draw Saki next time. Fine. For you, I will do, when I do the full body character, I'll make it Saki. How's that? I'll make it a Saki. Yeah. All right. That will conclude our lesson today, everyone. I'm going to go to the ending screen. Ending screen right here. All right. With that, thank you for tuning in once again, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this stream and adventure today. I'm Joe Munafuda saying, remember, bread is the guide to all life. And repetitive tasks, doing it over and over again, expecting different results, is the definition of insanity. So does that mean if you draw hands all the time and using bread as their base, does that make it insanity-based bread? Who knows? Anyways, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.